Alright guys, so today we're going to address one of the bigger concerns and questions that I get asked out here on the ranch, and that has to do with the horse's weight. So I'm going to show you how to tell if a horse is a good weight, if they're overweight, or if they are underweight, okay? So we're going to start here with Comanche, and we are going to do something called body condition scoring, okay? So a body condition score is on a scale of 1 to 9, 1 being extremely underweight and emaciated, and then 9 being extremely obese, okay? So ideal weight, or body condition score I should say, is somewhere between 4 to 6, okay? 6 being more on the heavier side and 4 being more on the lean side. So what we're gonna look at first is we're not just gonna go straight to the ribs, because a lot of people look at the ribs and think, oh my goodness, my horse is thin. The ribs aren't really a good indicator of how well our horse has weight, because we are at the end of winter, and through different seasons horses carry weight differently. At the end of winter they carry their weight more lower in their belly and not so much on their back and over their ribs. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to look right here at his crest. So he does have quite a decent amount of fat right up here, so that is good. That means he's not like underweight. And then we're going to come to his shoulder. So he's got a good covering of fat around his shoulder here. Then we're going to go behind the elbow. We're going to press here. And so it's nice and firm, okay? So his bones aren't sticking out there, but it's pretty firm. It's not jiggly. If it was jiggly, we would know he was way overweight. So then we're going to look to see how much fat he has covering his top line here. And he's got, you know, a little bit. His top line is kind of sticking up a little bit, but it's not too bad. And then last thing we're going to do is we're going to come to his hindquarters to see where his tail head is, and it is quite almost flat with the rest of his hindquarters. So I would probably put him somewhere between a 4 and a 5, probably closer to the 5, so right in the middle there. Last thing we're going to check to see back here is between my horse's legs right here. Their little bottom cheeks should be almost touching, okay? So they're touching, but you don't see a lot of wrinkles back there. You see a lot of wrinkles, that's a horse that's a little more overweight. So like I said, he'd probably be closer to a 5, okay? Now Comanche here, he is in his teens, so he's middle-aged for a horse, okay? As horses age, they tend to carry their weight a little bit differently. Like you wouldn't expect your 90-year-old grandma to be real chunky, okay? They tend to be more on the lean side. So this is Comanche. Now we're gonna look right here at Paradise. Now Paradise is 4 years old, okay? So she will naturally, she's 4, 6? She's 6 years old, not 4. We got her when she was 4, okay? So she's 6. So she'll naturally carry her weight a little bit differently than Comanche. So you can see how she's got more fat on her top line here. She's got a nice round hindquarters with her tail head nice and flat, not sticking out at all. She's got quite a bit of cresting here. So she would definitely be 5 or 6 on the body condition score. Looking back at her underneath her tail here, Comanche's kind of in the way here, but you can see that she does have quite a few wrinkles, so she's probably more on the 6 in that body condition scoring. She's still firm right here, so she's not really that overweight, but she is 6 years old, so it's natural for her to be a little bit on the chunkier side. So if we come over here, we're going to look at Captain. Now Captain is one of our oldest horses, so he is in his 30s, okay? So obviously he's going to be more on the lean side, but he is still a healthy weight. So as you can see his ribs a little bit better. you can see that his top line is sticking up more. You know, his hips are a little bit out, and his tail head is up more. Okay, so we have, you know, a little bit of fat here, not a lot. He's nice and firm here. He does have just a little bit of fat on his crest, not as much as the other horses. We would like to see him to be a little bit fuller. So yeah, he's got quite a gap here. So I would say he's, you know, probably about a 3, but he is almost 30 years old. So a 3 for a 30-year-old horse, it's still low. It's below that 4, but for a horse this size and his age, that is amazing. Okay, so so different horses have different body scores, and they will look different based on their age. Okay, so a younger horse tends to be a little bit fuller, and an older horse tends to be a little bit more lean. So just because you see a horse's ribs does not mean they are starving to death. Okay, Captain gets fed 3 times a day. He gets free choice hay, so he gets as much food as his body is able to handle. So if you have any questions, let me know, but that's part 1 of our video on weight.